All good? I'm not feeling okay today. I'm feeling a little lost, lonely. You must have heard these lines quite often from your friend or family. You would have also replied, why? What happened? Everything is fine. Don't worry. Everything will be okay. You would have also advised, don't take tension. Take your time. Do what you like, etc., etc. But how often do we think, do they really want to share? Do they themselves know what's happening with them? We don't. Because most of the times when we talk about mental health, it is about that side where you care for yourself. Self-care, self-love, meditation, mindfulness, exercise, all important, critically important. But seldom do we talk about the other side. What do you do when someone you love is struggling? When your roommate stops leaving the room? When a friend cancels the plan for the third time? When someone says, I'm fine, but their eyes say something else? What do you actually say then? What do you do? We are never taught this. There's no class, no manual. So we default to fixing them. Give advice, solution, because then we feel we are helping. I used to do that a lot. So before I take you through to the other side of mental health, I need to tell you about someone very close whom I lost. Both of us were in the same batch of our final year general surgery training program. He was a brilliant surgeon, the kind who could place a suture with his eyes closed. He was that guy who would help you do your presentation till 3 a.m. in the night. He could crack a joke in the middle of a long 12-hour surgery to make everyone laugh. He was the one who remembered everyone's birthday. But by the end of the final year, things changed. He cancelled the plans at the last moment. He stopped joining us for coffee. He started showing up in the operation theatre late, looking tired, not physically, in a different way. So one night, when both of us were walking back to the hostel, around 11 p.m., dark hospital corridors, he suddenly stopped, just stopped walking. I turned around and saw him staring at the floor. I walked up to him and very hesitantly he said, I don't think I can do this anymore. And I did what all of us usually do. I tried to fix him. Come on, man, you cannot say this. You're the best surgeon we have. And you have been through the toughest phase, just a couple of more months. I don't think you're sleeping well. Are you hydrating yourself well? Start working out. He smiled. Said, yeah, I'll try. 2 months after this, he was gone. Never to come back. I've replayed that corridor conversation 1,000 times in my head. I don't think I can do this anymore. That wasn't a question. That was him yelling at me and saying that I am drowning. And I threw a life jacket at him made up of advices and solution. And here's what haunts me. I'm a heart surgeon. I literally, physically heal hearts. But I couldn't save my friend while I saved countless lives. So when he was gone, after a year later, I started a listening helpline for students. And here's what I learned after 3 years and thousands of conversations. Most of the time, people don't want you to fix them. They just need you to witness them. And the ability to hold space for someone's pain without trying to fix them is the most active, most difficult, and most disciplined things that you can ever do. And that's a skill, not magic, not intuition, not sensitivity. It's a learnable skill. Let me now show you a couple of ways where you think you are helping, but you are actually not. So I want you to imagine a friend who's going through a tough exam time. And he says, nothing is going in my head. I can't remember anything. You look super stressed. Why are you so anxious? Chill. What happened? You labeled his emotion even before he could. He might not be anxious. He might be confused, sad, grieving. But now he has to defend your label. Now imagine a friend who's had a bad day at work. I don't know how I'll able to manage this. Like, my deadline is this week and I've not slept since 2-3 days. Hey, priority matrix. And you have to try Pomodoro technique. Urgent and important you need to do first. Okay. And have you read deep work? Kachchitanga read cheyandi. What happened? You jumped to advice. Because giving advice makes you feel useful. So now, suppose a friend who was gone home for a leave because his dad's health was not okay. He's come back and he's sharing, dad's health is not okay, like it's worsening and I can't see him like this. I can totally understand what you are going through. When my grandmother was sick, I'll tell you, she could not move her legs at all. Like, we had to put a tube in her mouth and then feed her, and we had taken her to this facility. Doctors, you know how much they charge these days. What happened? One-upping. You made it all about yourself. His pain became a trigger for your story, and now this has become an emotional competition, not a connection. Now suppose you are having a deep conversation with a friend, and at a point he shares something and goes blank. Engineering is not made for me. Like, I always thought I think let us go for a movie. It will make you feel good. Have you seen the Spider-Man trailer? Brilliant. What happened? You interrupted the silence because it made you feel uncomfortable. But that pause is where they usually are trying to go deeper and would have shared something real. Now suppose a friend has had a bad interview, comes back to the room and says, I bombed the interview. I couldn't answer those simple questions. I feel like a loser. It was my dream company. Hey, no negative energy. Talk positive. See, everything happens for good. Be positive, okay? What happened? This is toxic positivity. For it feels dismissive. For you have skipped over the pain instead of witnessing it. In this context, be strong, be positive. Sounds like keep your pain to yourself, hide it. Telling them how to feel. For this, now this is quite common. A friend is going through a heartbreak, is crying, sobbing. I don't know, like it's been 3 months, I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop thinking. 3 months, Ra, high time. Move on. Have some self-respect, let it go. What happened? You just told him how much grief is he allowed to feel. My dear friends, grief is personal. There is no right amount of pain, and there is no expiry date to pain. So, how many of these have you done this week, this month, in the past? I have done all of this multiple times. But today it's not about judging ourselves, it's about waking up. So what does good listening actually look like? Let us use a conversation from the helpline that we've recently had. I haven't slept in 2 weeks, my project deadline is tomorrow. If I don't deliver, they'll think I'm a loser. My manager made a comment on me last week. I think I'm letting everyone down. So whenever someone talks to you, they're broadcasting on 4 different frequencies simultaneously. Facts, thoughts, emotions, feelings. Most of the time, we just hear one of them, usually facts. But a good listener maps all 4 of these. Here's how. Check for the facts in the talk. These are the measurable, observable events. His deadline is tomorrow. He has not slept. His manager has commented. So you use the facts to anchor him in the entire conversation whenever required. So you'd say, okay, so your deadline is tomorrow and you've not slept since many days. Am I getting that right? Use it to anchor him to slow down the spiral in his mind. Don't question the facts. No, manager will not say anything. Why didn't you then sleep? Second, check for the thoughts. These are his assumptions and predictions about the facts. I'm letting everyone down. Question him. Who is everyone? What do you mean by being a listener? Explore the thought with curiosity without judgment. Emotions. This is his current state of being. In this context, it is fearful, anxious, overwhelmed. Acknowledge it. I am hearing. This sounds like a lot is going at your end. This must be distressing. Emotions calm when validated, but escalate if dismissed. And fourth is the core of the entire conversation. The deep feeling, his deep need. Here, his deep need is to be someone reliable. So you'd say, what matters most to you is to be someone in the team whom they can rely upon. And if you don't meet the deadline, you fear that they'll doubt it. Is this close enough to what is going in your head? He'll do this. Because now he has actually felt heard, for you articulated his deep feelings for him. And that is empathy. So you don't need to be a therapist to do this. You just need one practice. Count to 7. So next time when someone shares something difficult with you, just count to 7 and notice the urge to react, to advise, to fix, to minimize. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Notice what you want to say and then choose, is this something what he wants or what you want to feel useful? That's it. That's the difference between reacting and responding. And here's why this matters more to all of you. You're all engineers, problem solvers. That's your superpower. But the people who lead in long term and are successful are the ones who can build teams, work with people, lead teams, navigate conflict, take care of their own mental health. And all of this starts with listening. Because when you learn to listen to someone, you learn to listen to yourself. You learn when you are burnt out before it's too late. You learn to ask for help. And that's not soft. That's survival. That's even beyond that. I started this talk by sharing about someone I lost. Someone I feel I could go back in the past and listen to differently. But I can't. But what I can do is make sure that you don't have that regret. Because right now, there may be someone in your life who is suffering. They might not say so. They'll say, I'm fine. But you'll feel it. And someday, if they gather the courage to come up to you and say something as small as, I'm not feeling okay, I'm tired. You have a choice to do what I did. Try to fix him. Tell everything's going to be fine. Or count to 7 and listen. Not to fix, not to advise, just to offer presence. In today's world, where speaking up is so highly worshipped, LinkedIn thought leaders, Instagram motivation speeches, podcasts, TED Talks, everyone shouting to be heard, the real superpower is in keeping quiet. Because when you learn to listen to someone, you are doing the most beautiful and powerful activity that a human can ever do. You are telling them that your experience matters, your feelings are valid, and you are not alone. I'm here. So tomorrow, when someone opens up to you, count to 7 and realize that your silence, your presence, your willingness to just be there might just save a life. Because when someone is suffering, the greatest gift that you can ever offer to them is not your solution, it's your attention, your listening, and that perhaps is the most beautiful form of love in current times. Thank you.